Hello, Twitter. This is it's a test to see if Twitter will allow me to upload a longer video, a video that is not recorded through the Twitter interface. So let's look at this article that pretty much just about completely exonerates Kyle Rittenhouse. A lot of the claims against him involve him going out of his way, crossing state lines, bringing a weapon from Illinois to Wisconsin in order just to murder people. That's what the left wants you to believe. This is an article by Cassandra Fairbanks, who it pretty much debunks a huge amount of the foundation and basis for claiming that this is first degree murder, and that's based on the belief and idea that Kyle Rittenhouse crossed state lines with a weapon and went out of his way to find anybody that he could just wantonly murder. So let's take a look at this. It's titled Kenosha, the Day of the Shooting. I'm sorry, that's not the title. Kyle Rittenhouse was working as a lifeguard in Kenosha the day of the shooting, went to clean vandalism at school after work. And basically, what this is saying is that he was working in Kenosha. He was already in Kenosha when all of this happened. He was working as a lifeguard. So he was already there, and what happened was he took him and some buddies, I guess, got some rifles. Didn't say where they got them from. I hope that's not an issue. It might be. Who knows? And they went out to protect a business that had requested that they help protect them from all of these felons running around destroying stuff. So let's take a look at it. In a statement by Rittenhouse's legal team at Pierce Bainbridge provided to the Gateway Pundit, after Kyle finished his work that day as a community lifeguard in Kenosha, he wanted to help clean up some of the damage, so he and a friend went to the local public high school to remove graffiti by rioters. I mean, this makes him sound like a Boy Scout. The prosecution, they have so much that they're going to have to work against to get across the narrative that Kyle Rittenhouse was like a rabid animal who grabbed a gun and just went to run around shooting people. I mean, we've seen the videos. I've seen the videos. First of all, the first guy that he killed threw some kind of flaming object at him. People claim, I've heard claims that it was a flaming bag. But when you're being chased and someone is throwing something that is on fire at you, you're probably not going to turn around to inspect it to see how dangerous and deadly it is before you decide to protect yourself. Another witness says that the pedophile, the bald pedophile that Kyle shot in the head, was reaching for his gun, trying to take it away from him. So there's that, in addition to him throwing some kind of flaming object at him. That is probably going to be the main issue of contention. That may be what the first degree murder charge is centered around, was this initial killing where this guy came after him, and the prosecution is obviously, they're going to base their case on the idea that this guy was not threatening Kyle Rittenhouse's life and did not pose a threat to the point where Kyle Rittenhouse could legally, justifiably kill him. So I believe that's what it's going to be based on. There's a very good possibility that they will also throw in a second degree murder charge for shooting skateboard guy in the chest, and so that the jury will have an option, because it's going to be very hard to convict him of first degree murder, and so that the jury, if they feel like he should still be punished severely, but that first degree murder is too severe, that they will have an option to downgrade the charge. That's something that seems very possible. I'm sure that the prosecution is going to tack on a lot of other charges, but if he obtained the rifle in Wisconsin, I don't know how they can charge him with illegally crossing state lines with a weapon. Now, he is 17. From everything that I've read, that's too young for someone to open carry a rifle. That may be an issue. Maybe they can get him on a charge related to that. I don't know what kind of punishment comes with that. I don't know what kind of jail time comes with that, but I'm sure that they will push for the maximum. Some of these some of these prison times are ridiculous. Like, you can go to prison for years for perjury, for lying to the cops. If the cops can't make if they can't make a primary charge stick, they don't have enough evidence, but it's determined that you lied to them, then they can get you on something like that. And really, it's not the cops, it's prosecutors. And these absolutely ridiculous prosecutors are trying to appease this large group of felons. What are the odds? Let me ask you this. What are the odds? I need to light my cigarette. I'm going to go into a little bit of darkness, but what are the odds that every single person that Kyle Rittenhouse shot was a felon? Every single one of them. I mean, maybe there's some kind of a like a connection here between people running around vandalizing shit and attacking people, and them being convicted felons already. Maybe it seems to me like perhaps this group of people is not the highest quality group of people. And all three of the people who Kyle Rittenhouse shot were felons. The first one was a pedophile who was convicted of sexual assault on a minor, and then the skateboard guy had domestic assault charges against him, assault and battery charges against him, so he's a woman beater. And the guy whose arm he blew off, I don't remember what he did, but he's a felon too. And I may have got the two charges mixed up. Do not look at me. Do not look to me as a super valid, accurate news source. I can only repeat what I've read and what I've heard. But this right here, if this is true, and this is the defense that his lawyers are already putting out there, that Kyle was already in Wisconsin, he didn't cross state lines in order to start shooting people. They are obviously trying to establish that he was there performing, working as a lifeguard, and then was requested to come help with the guard the business. So the defense is going to be that Kyle did not go from Illinois to Wisconsin, which is actually a 20-minute drive from where he was, just in order to shoot felons. That he was already there, and then the request came, and he responded to the request. That's going to be the defense. If we're talking about conviction beyond a reasonable doubt, based on what they're putting out there, and I don't know what he has on his social media. I don't know what he's put out there himself prior to going over there. But if he didn't screw himself in that way, then, and they can establish that he was already there, and they can establish that the business requested for him to come guard their business, basically impromptu, then it's going to be very hard to prove that Kyle Rittenhouse went way out of his way in order to cross state lines and start killing felons. Personally, regardless of the reason and what happened, if somebody is giving a pedophile a moonroof in their head, I have no problem with that. I'm all for that in any case, but that's my personal feelings. So this right here, and hopefully this defense is solid, without holes, without anything that contradicts it. I don't know what the DA has. It also claims that the DA's primary witness, it's shown on video, was not anywhere around when the shots were fired. And from what we can see on the video, the initial shooting, the initial killing of the pedophile, I haven't seen enough video of that, and I don't know if there's enough to fully establish what was happening. I did see a video where the guy threw a flaming object at him. I haven't seen anything where he was trying to grab for the rifle, but there was a witness who said that he was trying to grab for his rifle. That's the one that really seems to be in question. And the DA may be relying on any solid, the lack of solid video and the lack of solid evidence for Kyle to be able to defend himself in that situation. But with the other two shootings, it's clear and obvious that they were trying to attack him. They were trying to significantly maim him. If what led up to it hadn't happened, if he was just running down the street and then suddenly somebody ran up to him and tried to attack him with a skateboard, that would be aggravated assault, felony prison time. Based on what we see in the video, multiple people were trying to significantly injure him. The one guy ran up with the skateboard, and there's a still image that I saw where he actually succeeded in landing a blow with the skateboard. The other guy had a weapon. He tried to trick him, puts his hands up, backs away, then he reaches behind his back, and these guys are the worst at any sort of tactical combat. He reaches behind his back with the gun and runs up to him, and he's only like maybe 4 or 5 feet away when he actually decides to attack him. But instead of just pulling the gun out and shooting him, trying to do that, which probably would have been far more effective, he runs up to him, which gives Kyle plenty of advance warning to swing his rifle around and blow a huge chunk out of his arm. And he clearly has the weapon in his hand. There are lots of photos showing him with his damaged arm still hanging onto that gun, probably because his arm was so damaged he couldn't let go of it. I find that funny. That cracks me up. I love it. His arm is just hanging there limply holding onto that gun. I bet he's still holding onto that gun right now. Couldn't let go of it. So obviously Kyle had plenty of reason to believe his life was in danger at that point. The left's narrative, the people who support these violent felons who are using Black Lives Matter and racial justice issues as a cover for them to destroy things, their narrative is that they were trying to disarm an active shooter, which to me, that doesn't fly very well, because Kyle was running away from them, and he was actually trying to run to the police. An active shooter who is an active threat, who just wants to kill people, isn't going to be running away from you, especially when they I didn't see anybody initially with a firearm out. So at that point, he had every reason to believe that he had far out, that he had way more firepower than they did, and he could just pick them all off if that's what he wanted to do. But obviously, according to the video, he didn't. He was running away, he tripped, and these cowards, of course, used that excuse to try and surround and attack him. But they're stupid cowards, because he had an AR-15. How stupid do you have to be to try to rush somebody with an AR-15, and you've got a skateboard? And the others didn't appear to be actively armed at all, except for that one dude with the gun who tried to sneak attack him. So what we see at that point is Kyle, he removes the threats, and he stops right there. That's it. He shoots the skateboard guy in the chest, shoots other guy with the Glock, shoots him in the arm. He doesn't continue shooting. He could have tried to continue shooting the guy with the Glock, because that guy was actually still a threat. He had a chunk of his arm blown off, and it was probably useless at that point in regards to being able to fire the gun, but he has another arm. All he had to do was take the gun with his left hand and start trying to shoot him with his left hand. But he's an idiot. He just ran away. He would be totally useless in any sort of real active battle situation, which I guess that pretty much was, and he pretty much was useless. Anyways, that's that's a good general idea of where we're at right now and what my thoughts are on that. The DA has his hands completely full. I just can't imagine being that DA, and he's got all of this evidence now. He obviously either didn't look over the evidence before filing the charges, or he did and decided to go ahead and file charges anyways because because it's just basically a political prosecution. They want to appease the mob after the Jacob Blake situation, which Jacob Blake was a felon as well, and there's new evidence coming out that Jacob Blake was actually the antagonizer in that situation. He wasn't trying to diffuse anything, and there was actually a weapon in his car when he went inside his car. That doesn't matter. These people don't care. They don't care about the people who they are making martyrs. They don't care about how horrible they are, how ridiculous it sounds for them to run around destroying everything over pedophiles and woman beaters and people like that. They don't care. They just want an excuse to do it. That's been clear and obvious from the beginning. Wow, man, when I get going, I can really talk. Anyways, let's try and upload this to Twitter, see how it works. Hope you guys found some enjoyment in this video in some way. I'll see you later. Let me see if I can stop it.